All right. Welcome back.
Greetings.
We're here, season 2.
Mhm.
We made it
And this
to a second season.
This kind of counts as like a debut, kind of. Would you say?
Yeah. So, okay. Just a recap on what happened. We took a bit of a hiatus. All right. And by hiatus, I mean we were just off for a while. We had different things to do, pretty much. Life got busy, and now we're back. All right. Sorry for the wait. All right. So anyway, I know you've probably noticed by now, the guy next to me, this is not Kevin.
Definitely not Kevin. No.
Yeah, this is not Kamo. Don't worry, I didn't fire him. All right. He's still around. He's just doing what he does best, producing.
How's it going? Say hi to the camera.
That's him. Yeah. All right. That's enough.
I had to let him know I'm here.
Okay, thank you, Kevin. I appreciate that. Anyway, who we got here though? This is the focus of our episode today.
All right.
Is our good friend Josh.
Hello.
He is known as the Owl Shogun. Okay, it sounds a little strange at first, but think about it like this: he produces manga.
Mm-hmm.
He is an up and coming manga artist. What he's got is fire. So
Thank you.
That's what the kids say these days, right? Fire.
Right. That's fire. That's lit. I don't know.
Oh
They
yeah,
got
it's
new words
lit.
now.
Sorry guys, it's lit. It's lit.
I mean, it used to be dope back in the day, but I don't
Yeah,
know.
it used to be dope. Coolio.
Internet culture changes so quick.
Oh my
Just
god,
that.
like ridiculously.
Like one thing you think
I feel old,
dude,
and I'm not.
we're like 25. We're young as hell. But like, you be like looking up a year from now and like already like, what are the kids saying? It's like another language.
Dude, I don't know. Like literally, a couple weeks ago, I was meeting with some people, just family members,
Mm-hmm.
and one of them's a teacher, and she said, "Oh, I don't know what kids say these days. They just keep saying these slang words." I said, "Just tell me. I'll tell you what they mean." And she said like 3 different words, and I didn't know what the hell they were. And
Yep.
I don't even remember them actually. But anyway, yeah, things change, stuff happens. This is the new co-host. All right.
Hello, internet.
And yeah, we're just gonna talk a little bit about him. Okay. So go ahead, Josh. Tell us about yourself.
All right. So where to begin? So as you already said, I'm actually a manga artist. So I'm working on a series right now called Deira. It's a manga in a fantasy world inspired heavily by the Roman Empire. I'm a student of history. I love history in all forms, but my particular interest is classical, and I always loved the idea of Rome, the history of Julius Caesar, Marcus Aurelius. So I decided how interesting would it be to make pretty much the manga and anime equivalents of gladiators and legionnaires, because how cool would that be?
Shit is dope.
Mm-hmm.
Or lit.
So it's not out yet, but I do got a few teasers out there, so please do check it out. We'll pop a link at the end of the video. But
Yeah.
but for now, like,
Check this shit out. Yeah, so listen. All right. I met Josh while at actually the same place I met Kevin. All right?
Westgate. Yep.
Yeah. And so we were talking, and it's so interesting sometimes. You know, you'll be surprised at the people around you and where they come from and the similar interests that you have. All right. I do dabble a little bit.
Sorry.
In the thanks, Kevin.
Wait. Hold on.
Thanks a lot. We
Technical difficulties. Don't worry.
sorry folks. We put
Sorry. Oops.
you got promoted to producer, and the first
fucked
thing
up,
you do.
bro.
First thing you do.
First say for everybody, right?
Yep. That's okay.
We good?
We're good now?
All right.
All right, cool. So anyway, yeah, I dabble a little bit in anime and manga. I'm not necessarily one of the kind of guys that reads every single day or watches anime every single day, but I like it. It's pretty cool. I like the stories. I like a lot about it. All right, and I'm not the only one. Obviously, of course, you have your fanboy types, of course. You have the people who are heavily into it. That's all they talk about. That's all I think. And then you have people that you
otakus, weebs, and those
yeah,
guys.
there we go. Otakus and weebs, right? Y'all know who you are, and ain't nothing wrong with that. That's cool.
It's what you like, you know.
Yeah, but then you also have like the people that you would never think are into this kind of stuff. All right. Yeah, like people when I tell people I watch anime, they're like, "What?" I do.
Because hey man,
Alright.
like growing up back in the day, like people make fun of you for like, oh, you like Naruto, I guess, and stuff like that. Yet you keep that to yourself. At least I did. I was
Oh,
very
man.
private about my interests until then. When every time I see a guy like you, I'm thinking, oh, this guy's probably into like everything but anime. And then you say, yeah, I like DBs. He's like, what?
Yep. Yep. So okay. How did you start? Where
In
where was it
like anime and like
yeah, where was the day that young Josh was like, "Oh, you know what? I want to be a manga artist. I like this stuff."
All right, so before I decided I wanted to actually do manga for a career, like anything else, like it started as an interest. So since I was like 4 years old, like I grew up with like Nintendo and all that stuff. So Pokemon and Dragon Ball Z on Toonami, that was like my first exposure
Oh yeah.
to Japanese culture. But that was it. It was just cartoons.
Shout out to Nami.
Toonami, that was my childhood, baby. But going forward in time, it's around 6th grade. I'm 11 years old, and I go to the bookstore and I pick up my first volume of Naruto. I read through the whole thing, put it down, and I was so captivated, so mesmerized by what I just read. My 11-year-old brain was so. I realized that it was an adult that made this, and I thought to myself, why can't I do the same?
Wait. What did you think about the other things? Did you think there was like child slaves making cartoons?
Wow, maybe. No. It was just more this realization that, hey, they did this, I could do it too.
Okay.
And then
because you already were into art and drawing, right?
Yeah, because I always knew that I didn't know what it was going to be, but somehow it was going to be a creative profession. Whether it was going to be in film or animation, it was going to be something creative. Because I was drawing since I was a kid. I was making comics already at age 3. I mean, they're just little stick figures. You wouldn't understand what they were, but that's what I was doing,
Did you know, fun fact about drawing, the ability to draw is actually kind of a common misconception. Everybody on the planet has the ability to draw if you're able to pick up a pen. What you have more so than I do is the ability to make what's in your mind onto paper.
To communicate it.
Yes, fluidly draw it. Me, on the other hand, I mean, if I make a good stick figure, that's a win for me. Really, I suck. I mean, yeah, you've seen my drawings.
Hey man, your stick figures are beautiful.
No. Anyway.
All right. Mm-hmm. So to gotta continue on with the what led to everything. So, all right, 6th grade, I decided I want to be a manga artist, and at that point, that's when I start taking seriously and watching a bunch more anime like Naruto and Bleach and Kogiasa, like as much as I can get to, and I start learning how to draw for real, studying different manga, narrative structures, because I mean, a lot of people who want to be manga artists, they think, okay, it's just drawing, that's it, call it a day, but drawing is one thing. Telling a good story, that's actually really hard. You could be the best artist in the planet, and there are plenty of artists out there that are way better than I am, but they can't still tell a story for shit.
That's true. Storytelling is one of the hardest things.
It is. It is definitely its own study. I mean, in the West we have the 3-act structure. In Japan they have their own format of storytelling, and then character arcs. There's so much to it. So many different variables. It's like a science.
It really is. It really is. I learned that the hard way.
Okay.
Because when I was little, I used to talk a lot.
Right.
And I just talk and talk and talk. And
you don't talk a lot now?
No. Not enough, I guess. I don't know. But they said, people would constantly ask me, like, is there an end to your story?
Yes.
I'd have that problem. I just keep on going.
I was guilty too. Because like, and then like, like Josh, shut the fuck up.
Yeah, like shut the fuck up. Oh, okay, sorry. But yeah, so middle school, that's when you started, right? Mm-hmm. What happened after that? Like you went to middle school, obviously you passed, right? And then you went to high school, and then you passed that too, right? So like once you got out of high school, what did you want to do?
That's where things got a little complicated. Because I had a very set focus. Okay, I want to be a manga artist. Obviously, manga's not a thing in America. You gotta go to Japan for that. But I didn't have a plan to actually go to Japan. I always thought that once I graduated high school, I was just gonna go to Japan. I was gonna get my work published by a big publisher like Shonen Jump, and everything was gonna be smooth sailing. The anime, action figures, everything was gonna be great. Come graduation, nothing, no plan. I had no money, no legal mechanisms to actually get to Japan. And I had realized, oh shit, I guess I have to go to college. But I didn't want to go to college. I wanted to make manga. But economic and other external forces pushed me towards that direction of going to college. Mm. And I decided upon Full Sail University. It's a college for, shout out to Full Sail students, Full Sail graduates. It's pretty much a school for, Kevin over here in the back's like, yeah, because he was a Full Sail student too. It's just a school for, if you want to go into multimedia. So I went specifically for video game art and computer animation. Because I thought it wasn't manga, but at least it was something cool, very creative, where I could do art. I graduate 2014. I got my diploma. I'm ready to take on the world. And then 2.5 years of periodic unemployment later, I'm no closer to making manga than I was when I decided to do this back in 6th grade.
Okay, so after college, you did the typical college thing and on and off worked, right? Trying to find your way in life. Mm-hmm. But you did do something that's really interesting. You tried to start a business.
Yes. So, all right. So 2017. Okay, so by this point. By the end of 2016, I was so fed with my situation of not having enough money. I was still living with my parents, and just nothing was going my way. And I was fed up at the time to stave off that frustration. I was reading a lot of books, a lot of books on history, science, and particularly business. A lot of business books, investing. I didn't have the capital. I had a friend. I was actually my former roommate back in college, living in California.
It's always the roommate. It's always the college roommate.
It's always the college. Yeah. Funny how that, ironic like that.
Yeah.
But he was living in California. He was a game developer. And he just so happened to also suddenly be having more entrepreneurial aspirations as well. So I called him up. I said, hey, why don't we start a business? He's like, yeah, let's do it. And in the start of 2017, there I am I'm in California. And we're working together to start a business.
Okay. All right. So you had a business in California. What happened?
Oh, business. So, it never went anywhere. Story of most startup companies. There was a lot of logistical issues that were going on. Far too many to really that it would just bog down the podcast. But essentially, we had different ideas of how we wanted to go about certain things.
So it just ended up not working.
Yeah, it just didn't end up working. He also got a good opportunity, with his uncle, for real estate investment, and I was super happy, super pumped for him.
Hey,
and then,
you know what? There's nothing wrong with that, though.
Yeah,
listen,
nothing wrong with that.
I tried to start a business, and it's incredibly hard. It is incredibly hard to start a business in the States if you don't have the capital, if you don't have a proper plan. And the business I tried to start, I had everything going. I was more of the financer at the time. I had the money and the capital to invest, and the other guy had the connections, right?
I see.
But a very emotionally charged decision that he made ended up just killing everything. And those connections, all those bridges were burned. And next thing you know, I'm just sitting here with all this equipment and stuff and nothing.
Damn, that sucks.
So it's hard. That people say, don't go into business with your friends, don't go into business with your family, and that's the main reason is because there's too much.
Too many emotions, feelings, hurts. Too many.
They're too comfortable. Yeah. That's the problem. Is that they're comfortable. When you're uncomfortable, you're going to be more successful.
It is true. Comfort is the death of progress.
But okay, so it didn't work. That's fine.
Yes.
It happens.
It happens. It was an experience.
Doing that alone. You've done more than most people. Some people keep talking about opening a business or wanting to do a business and they just never do it for whatever reason. Sometimes they're good reasons. Sometimes they're just lazy. But the point is that you did it. So all right, that finished. You came back to Florida. And right after that is when you met us, right?
Not quite. It was a little bit, still about a little over half a year away yet.
Okay, so yeah, a little bit of waiting. Then you met us. We worked at this place for a summer.
Yeah.
And then after that, I remember very vividly. You know, when I met you, we started talking more and more about manga and anime and stuff, and
Yep.
you showed me your artwork and everything, and I said, "Wow, you know, you have a lot of good stuff going here." And actually, I read some of your pages, and you know, the story is really good. It's very captivating.
Thank you.
You were telling me that you were more focused on actually making your dream come true, and you had a plan. But the problem was is that just like with anything, it costs money.
Yeah, because I mean, like today, like I mean, there's so many platforms on social media you could post stuff now, but a lot of stuff is saturated. It's not like how it used to be back in like the earlier parts of the internet. If you want to be visible,
Mhm.
you got to put some money into it. I mean, yes, word of mouth and stuff can still work if you're good at social media, but I'm not that good in social media. I don't have a big presence, so I recognize if I was gonna make a dent in this, I needed capital to do the marketing, but that's what I did not have, and so I was invisible.
It's tough. There's so much going on all the time.
Yes, a lot of
So
factors.
okay, I know. We were talking. You said you had a plan and everything, and then that job ended that summer, and you got another job. Tell me what happened there. That's really what.
Okay, so after the job where we met, it was going to be another little rough patch. A much smaller period. It wasn't 2.5 years this time, but I ended up getting this job. I was just a front desk agent at a hotel, a
Yeah,
chain.
very customer service oriented job.
It was shit.
Yeah,
It was garbage.
customer service is never all that fun.
It was a very demoralizing state, and I was always thinking about the manga dream, always there. And then I'm thinking, how am I here? How is it that since 2006, at age 11 up till now, I am no closer than I was, and I thought I was feeling I wasted my time, and I had like this existential crisis, so to speak.
Right.
And then one day, I come out of work. It was a very rough day. I get in my car. I let out a big scream. And then I whip out my phone and I apply for a job to go to Japan. Now, this was for teaching English. One of the most common ways a lot of foreigners, particularly in Western English-speaking countries, get to go into Japan is by teaching English. Through dispatch companies, it could be like the JET program, Interact. I applied for everything I could. All of them said no, except for Interact, and they said yes. And a few months later, I was in Japan. It was a interesting part of my life. I enjoyed it.
All right. So you did what you wanted to do. You ended up going to Japan.
Yeah,
What'd you see?
a lot of stuff, but unfortunately, not as much as I could have. The reason was because of monetary things.
Right. And it costs money to do anything.
It was because honestly, Juan, like right now, if I was still like if it was up to me, I'd still be in Japan right now. Like I wouldn't be back here in Florida. But you know, it was a lot of it was economic reasons, things that was out of my control, and I tried to be as frugal as possible.
Mm-hmm.
In spite of that, there was a lot of factors that pushed me where like, okay, it made sense. I had to come back here. Even though I was finally in Japan, I was in the mecca of anime and manga. This was the place to do it.
Yeah.
It's like if you want to be an actor, you go to Hollywood or, you know, that's where the industry is. But I learned something too when I was in Japan. That was very important, was about the nature of the internet. I didn't need Japan to follow my dream anymore. With the internet, you could do anything. I mean, look at us right now. We have a podcast. We have the potential to reach millions of people around the world. I mean, I'm not saying like
Oh yeah.
right
no,
now, but we can have the potential right now. Millions of people could be watching us,
possibly.
and that's amazing. When we were born, that was not even a figment of our imagination. Now we could just put this on YouTube, put just for a computer. Like that's amazing. That's powerful. So I realized finally I made it to Japan, the top of the mountain, and that's when I realized I never needed that. And now I come back here with a full understanding of what needs to be done with the manga, treating it as a business, as a media brand, and then leveraging the internet moving forward. I wish I knew that back after, like in 2014 when I graduated, but it's a process.
You needed to go through all that to get to where you're at now.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Like, a lot of times we think, oh, I wish I'd have known. I wish I'd done this. I wish I'd done that. But you need all those bad and good experiences to get to be the person that you are today. Mm-hmm. And it sucks to say it that way, and it sucks to realize that, but it's the truth. Mm-hmm. For example, when you eat something sweet, right? It tastes great. I mean, it should, right? I'm just saying.
Ideally,
it should, unless you don't like sweets, then you're freaking abnormal.
Sad.
But right? Let's say, for example, chocolate. Most people like chocolate. Most people do. I know some people don't, but I'm using it as an example. So tough nuggies. But say you like chocolate, right? Do you know what the one way to make your chocolate taste better?
What?
Put salt.
Really?
Yeah.
Putting salt. You know what? I can see that. I can see.
Yeah, salt will.
It enhances it.
Enhance your taste. The taste buds that taste the sweet part.
Right. It stimulates everything.
Yeah.
Right?
It shuts everything down. Is what it does. Everything else. So that you only taste the sweet.
I see.
So it wouldn't be that sweet. It wouldn't be that sweet without the bitter.
Yeah. I mean.
Anyway. Oh yeah.
Well, I was gonna say that I always feel like a lot of things in life you could avoid by learning from the mistakes of other people, but there's just certain things that you gotta learn certain lessons, and some things can't be skipped.
Exactly.
Now I think very differently from when I graduated, so huge difference.
So okay, I know my viewers are like, oh well, Doc, where's the advice? Where's the category today? What are we talking about? What's going on? All right. I'm going to tell you this. This is episode 1 of season 2. So we're just going to do our introduction here of my new co-host. But I want you to think about the whole story here. You have a young man who realized what he wanted to do. Just like most of us. Once you get to that point, whether it's in 6th grade or high school or college, or when you're 30 or 40, you get to a point where you realize exactly what you want to be doing with your life, or just what you like in general, what you want to do. Okay, then you go through these processes. You formulate a plan. You think about how to get to where you want to be, how to do that.
In fact, if I could say, some people probably go their whole lives and never know what they want.
Exactly.
Just even that's scary.
That is a scary thought to have. But ultimately, though, he went through all of this to finally get the story that he's been cooking up since 6th grade. All right. And I've read some of this stuff, and it is very good.
Thank you.
All right. It's very good. And I don't say that about many things. I'm actually kind of a Debbie Downer, I'm probably going to get a lot of shit for this, but
what?
The Joker wasn't that good.
Oh man, he be talking about that now. Okay.
I'm just saying that movie wasn't that good.
I haven't seen it yet.
You know what else wasn't that good?
What?
The last Spider-Man movie.
It was all right. I mean, I liked it, but I mean, I could see what you mean.
Let me tell you this. In the first movie, they messed up because the best part about Spider-Man is that it sucks to be Spider-Man, and it didn't suck to be Spider-Man. And on top of that, he didn't fight nobody. But all that stuff aside, though, just saying, I'm kind of a Debbie Downer. I mean, I just look at things in a more realistic view.
I prefer the term pragmatist. You're a pragmat. You look at things as it is, not as you want
Shazam wasn't that good of a movie either. Neither was Captain Marvel.
I didn't like Captain Marvel.
It wasn't that good.
It was kind of generic.
Good, but it wasn't that good. It wasn't like, best movie of the year. No, it wasn't. I don't know. Anyway, the point is this, though. All right. The story this guy's got to tell is amazing. You have to see these teasers. You have to see the artwork. The artwork's good. It's great. I mean, yeah, he's right. There might be people out there that's better than him. I mean,
there's plenty.
I would have to say so. Yeah, there's plenty of people out there that's better than him at drawing these characters. But the story, though, and what's going on in there is really, really interesting. All stemming from his life experiences without him even knowing.
That's usually how it works. A lot of writers unconsciously grab from their own life experiences.
Yeah. And so you gotta think about this 11-year-old boy who realized he likes his great ability to draw is what he wants to do with his life. He's been thinking of a story, of a comic or a manga. Well, it's manga, but he's been thinking of a manga since he was 11, right? And he got bogged down just like everybody else. All right, you get out of school, regardless if it's high school, college, graduate school, it doesn't matter. You get out of school and you don't immediately go do what you want to do. Some people do, and that's great. More power to you. That's awesome. But for the vast majority, we don't. We don't just get out of school and go do the thing that we went to go to school to do. You know, there are people who go out to school to be as stereotypic as I can be possibly here, but to be a doctor, and they get out of school and they work at Subway. Or you have people that go to school to become an accountant or just whatever it may be, and they end up working somewhere.
If I may add,
of course,
real quickly, it's just that I was saying a lot of the reasons too is that, wow, I had a very clear idea of what I wanted to do. I also allowed arbitrary and a lot of the times illusory limitations that were not really real, expectations from society, to determine my path. Now I realize it was so simple. I could always have done the internet.
Yeah.
All the complexities, all of those years, that didn't have to happen. It was I put those obstacles in myself. I erected that, and then I think how many people in life put these obstacles in their way without even realizing it. That's not even...
It's partially that, and it's also partially it's what you're being told. You were lied to, just like almost all of us. Actually, all of us. We were all lied to. Okay, they tell you, especially here in the States, they tell you go to school, get a degree,
Yep,
get a job.
Bullshit.
All right, and you don't always need to do that to do what you want to do. There are many career fields out there that don't require.
It's the 21st century. You got more options than all the generations before you had combined. Like,
that's true. That is true.
The governments are still operating under 20th century mindsets. The world has changed. They haven't evolved with it. But you viewers out there, you got I mean, look, this smartphone, like, this has more power than all the computational power to put the Apollo on the moon. Yeah. Like, we could do multiple Apollo missions on this thing. It's ridiculous what we're capable of doing now.
Well, I don't know. I don't think I want to be in charge of Apollo missions. I think some people would die that day. But
it's ridiculous. Like, the options that are available now.
We have a lot more at our disposal than we know. But ultimately, though, you go through life the same way, right? Thinking, what am I gonna do? How am I gonna do it? And how do I get there? Like, what do I want? How do I get it? Pretty much, right? And society tells you one thing, and sometimes that's not the case. So you go through life going through shitty situations, dead end jobs, and you think to yourself, all of that was for nothing, and that's not true. I think it's never for nothing.
I think the greatest tragedy is that the education system is so outdated, so obsolete.
Oh, I agree.
And like no one is prepared for the 20. Like, our generation got screwed over with the college thing. The student debt, the biggest scam.
So here's your prescription. All right. Here's your prescription. Take your failures and take your garbage situations and use them as your stepping stones to your success. All right. So every day when you go to the job that you hate and you sit there think, oh man, I hate this place. It's easier said than done, but shift your mindset and say, I need to learn from this experience. Because I guarantee you will find a lot of good life lessons, and you will find a lot of abilities and skills that you didn't have before that you'll formulate at this place. That is it.
Yeah.
Just take your failures and learn from them. Yeah. I know it sounds kind of cliche-ish. I know it sounds, whatever. But the point is, the more you're reminded of it, the more you think about it in different aspects and different viewpoints. Like, for example, what's happening with Josh here. I mean, seriously, that this is a dream come true. This is the dreams in the making here. Okay. He's gonna finally publish his artwork and his story, and people are gonna love it.
And also, like, it's never too late. Like, I'm 25. People think like once you hit like 30, like game over. You're young. Like, it's never too late. Like, get that out of your head. It's never too late. Like, if you want to like do what makes you happy, like, fuck what everyone else thinks. That doesn't matter. It's your happiness you're talking about.
That's right. All right. Well, thanks for tuning in.
All right.
Don't forget to comment, like, subscribe. Check out the teasers. All right. Check out his content. All right. It's good.
Yeah, we'll put
There's
the
a
link below.
There's a link below. Okay. Check out the link below.
I look forward to being a part of the podcast. You know, it's going to be fun. It's going to be a great adventure, and join us in this journey. And together, we're going to make this a big thing. And it's the start of a beautiful thing. This is the Owl Shogun.
This is the Doc, and we're signing off.